I'm recording this interview just to use in my presentation. Just a little background about my project. So I'm at New Trier High School is my school. It's in Winnetka, Illinois, which is a little suburb of Chicago. And at the end of your senior year, you're given the option to do a presentation, sort of a TED Talk style thing about anything you want to do. And as I'm a filmmaker, I thought it'd be really interesting to do one about independent film distribution.
Sure.
So I wanted to interview. I interviewed Carl because my mom knew him. They went to the same college, so through him he referred me to you guys. So I figured I'd love to talk to you about indie rights movies and sort of just the film distribution industry in general.
Great.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions for you.
I think it's a good idea. It's a lot of. I think for a lot of people, distribution is kind of the hardest thing to find out good information about.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been having definitely a few difficulties. Yes. Do you have any questions about my project or anything before we start the interview?
No.
Okay.
I'll just let you ask questions and I'll answer them to the best ability that I can.
Okay. So just to give a little bit of background so I can put this in my presentation. What is Indie Rights Movies? What do you guys do?
Well, the name of the company is actually Indie Rights.
Oh, just Indie Rights? Okay.
As opposed to Indie Rights Movies.
Gotcha.
We also do television series, so
Yeah.
we've expanded on that. The company, we started it a little over 10 years ago, and the reason we started it was that we were a small film production company, and we were not happy with the distribution options that we were seeing for our own films that we were making and producing. So we decided that we would gather up some friends, put together a small catalog, and start our own distribution company, and it's just grown steadily over the years. So now we have a catalog of over 700 films.
That's really impressive. Fantastic job.
Thanks.
Yeah. So when did you first start the company?
We started it in 2007.
Okay.
And at that time, digital was just starting. So we got in at a time when we were able to build and forge relationships with all of the new digital platforms out there. And many of them didn't make it an art and business anymore, but some of the early ones that have become huge, like Amazon and iTunes and Google Play, we have been partners with them for more than 10 years. So,
right.
The studios obviously didn't have the confidence to think that streaming would replace DVD, and they just never even tried to compete until recently. I mean, that's why you don't see Universal Studios as a platform, or you don't see Paramount, or Fox. They don't have their own platforms. They should have seen it coming and built platforms so that Amazon and Netflix and Google couldn't take over, but they have. And now I think it's very difficult for them to compete, so they just put all their films on the digital platforms that are out there. So
yeah. So I was talking.
Very recently, we're seeing like Disney is going to launch their own platform.
Yeah.
Whether or not they'll keep their content out on all the other platforms, it's not clear yet. So we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking.
We may wind up seeing, the streaming channels split into studio and independent the same way that theatrical is split into studio and independent film. So it'd be interesting to see because the landscape is constantly changing. It's, for the past 10 years, it's been in this state of flux as we move from DVD, which was very entrenched for more than 20 years, to streaming. So.
Yeah, I experienced that personally. I mean, when I was younger, I would go to Blockbuster all the time, but now we get everything online. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like kind of a family thing that you went there on Fridays and, or Thursdays and picked a bunch of movies that you were going to watch over the weekend, And for independent films, that was a tough way to try and break into the business, because if you were lucky, an independent film might stay at Blockbuster for a couple of months.
Yeah.
That's even if you got your film in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whereas now there's unlimited shelf space, and you can be on, you know, a streaming platform forever. If your film is doing well, it doesn't have to come down.
Yeah.
We have lots of films that have been up for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're still up and still earning money for their filmmakers. So now filmmakers have a chance to build a revenue stream with, you know, that just keeps getting bigger and bigger as they make more and more movies, so they can build a body of work that can become quite substantial, to the point where they can then finance really their own productions.
Yeah, really convenient for them. So just to sort of give us some more background on how the company works, let's say I had a film that I wanted to distribute through Indie Rights. What would be the typical path that film would take?
Well, first of all, it's a very simple process. Mm-hmm. We have a great website. If you go to the distribution page, it says submit your film here. When you click on the link, you fill in the information, and part of that information is a link to a screener that you're hosting on, like Vimeo, for example. And then we review all of those submissions, and we watch the movies, and we contact each filmmaker and say, yes, we'd be interested, or no, you know, we're not. And if we say that we're not interested in a film, we'll offer you some advice about where else you might be able to place your film. When we first started the company, we took almost just about every film we could get our hands on. But now we have to be more selective. So we probably take one out of every 4 that's submitted to us. And once we look at your film and we decide that we think we can work together with the filmmaker, then we give them a list of what we need from them, which that's called deliverables.
Yeah.
So primarily right now, we need a ProRes 422 HQ version of your film in 1920 by 1080 stereo. That's like the minimum requirement. And then we need a trailer that matches that format. We need some stills and closed captions. Closed captions are like subtitles for the deaf, and deaf people turn them on. But they're a little different from subtitles in that subtitles is just the spoken dialogue.
Yeah.
But closed captions also includes atmospherics, which means important noises. So if you have phone rings, door slams,
right,
like that. So, and then we need a layered Photoshop file of your key art or your poster. So basically, once we get that, we check the files to see if you've prepared them correctly, and if all is well, we start preparing deliveries. And if you're having a theatrical release, then we do that first. If not, and you're going straight to VOD platforms, then we have to actually encode your film to each different platform specification. So that means iTunes needs to see your file in a different way than Amazon does, and in a different way than Google Play does. So we have to prepare those, and then we have very high-speed internet. We have like 1,000 megabytes per second upload, so that we can deliver those encoded files to each platform.
Right.
And so that way, then we also teach all of our filmmakers how to market their films with social media. And we also have a private group of all of our filmmakers on Facebook where we can support each other's films with reviews, etc.
Right.
And so then every 3 months we send you a report and a check.
Okay.
And our contract is quite unique in the business. We pay our filmmakers 80% of all the revenue earned, and we don't charge any expenses, which is very rare.
Yeah,
most distributors will charge you for doing that encoding and delivery. They'll charge you for marketing, etc. But we believe those should be our business expense, and it's also our investment in your film. So we want you to know that we need to work hard on your film too, just like you need to work hard.
Yeah.
So then
Ben,
start getting revenue and reports, and that's how it works.
That makes sense. Okay. So using that method, what would you say that the most successful film you distributed so far is, and how far was it able to go?
Well, the most successful film we have had so far is a film from Detroit.
Okay.
And it is an urban crime love story.
Okay.
And it is called Plug Love, and it has done incredibly well. And in fact, it has been our top-selling film for over a year. No one's been able to knock them from the #1 spot yet, which is fascinating. It's the first time we've had a single film stay on the top, stay as our bestseller for any substantial period of time. And so it is earning as much today as it was earning when we first released it, which is fantastic. And so the filmmakers, are from Detroit, and they now have 4 movies with us, 5 movies with us, and they're working on several new ones.
Okay.
And they've also, made a real effort to contribute back to their community. They've started a school for young kids for acting and directing, and so that brings us a lot of joy.
Definitely. So yeah, you mentioned that in addition to running Indie Rights, you have your own film production company. Yeah. So I just wondered, which end of the process do you think you prefer, production or distribution?
Oh, I think as far as just the personal creative pleasure, it would have to be filmmaking, but it's also extremely satisfying to help other filmmakers pursue their dreams, so both provide a lot of pleasure, but in very different ways, right? So for us, the distribution is not as creative, right? It's more business.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, very satisfying. We go to Cannes in France every year to do foreign sales, and we love traveling and doing that. So there's, a lot of very enjoyable parts of distribution, but there's also a lot of very tedious work involved.
I bet there is,
in getting films delivered to the platforms. And of course, all of the business side of it, accounting, it's not our favorite thing to do.
I understand that. Yeah, you mentioned, you sort of touched on this before.
It has to be done.
It definitely does, yeah. You touched on this before, how being filmmakers yourselves sort of changed your approach to distribution. Can you go into more depth on that?
Well, after we did the first film that we totally produced in-house, we went to some film festivals and we got some offers, but the offers just seemed very lopsided and in favor of the distributor, and we didn't feel like if we signed those deals that we could ever make enough money to keep making movies. So it was that, and because also we were in a position to start doing digital distribution, and we didn't have any overhead. We had day jobs still.
Yeah.
We decided that we would try and do that. We had nothing to lose. It was better than signing a bad deal where we knew we would never make any money. So at least starting up the distribution company, we had a chance to make money. And if we worked hard at it, it was going to be all up to us. We had control over the situation in the sense that there was an opportunity there. So.
Right, definitely. So it takes a more personal approach to the films as opposed to like solely out to make money and garner business.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We have, if you look at our catalog, for instance, if you go on like Amazon Prime and You just put the words indie rights, all of our movies will come up, and you can see the huge diversity in our catalog. We don't, just do one kind of film. We love all films, and as long as it's well produced and there's good acting and a good story that's being told, we're interested. So you'll see every kind of film in our library, whether it's drama, comedy, horror, documentaries, family. We have every single kind of film you could possibly imagine, and it's just because we love movies.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. So I know you guys are based.
Sometimes we will very intentionally take a film that we know is not commercial and is not going to make a lot of money because we think it should be out there.
Yeah, you definitely got to fight for the smaller, less appealing.
Like we just took a film about a musician, and me personally, I think it's terrible that schools are all cutting their music and arts programs, and that they're not teaching kids to play instruments anymore. And I think it's really, frightening that, we may have generations of kids that never have any exposure to musical instruments. So while I don't think that film's going to make a ton of money, I think it's important. So
yeah, that matters more to you.
We'll do that. Or it might be a social, issue. It might be a documentary about, some social issue. But there's sometimes we take films just because we think it's important that the film gets out there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. So I know you guys, you're based in Los Angeles, right?
We are.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a lot of other distribution companies around there. What would you say makes Indie Rights different?
Our approach to distribution is totally different from old school or traditional distribution. Traditional distribution companies might have a similar split. Like they probably won't have an 80-20 split like we have. They might have 65-35 or 70-30, somewhere in that neighborhood. So the split's not that different. But the other companies always charge expenses. So in other words, they might say that, okay, well, the first $15,000 is going to go to us if we take you to the film market, for example. So they'll charge expenses, and we never have charged expenses, so we don't do that. So we feel that it's very hard for small films to make a lot of money. So it can be very discouraging to, especially the younger filmmakers, if they're not making any money at all. So that's why when we started the company, we thought it was important that even if it's not a lot of money, that you should be making money from the very first dollar earned. So when we say we pay 80%, if you make $1, if the film makes $1, you're going to get 80 cents. Right? Whereas with other companies, you may go a couple of years before you see a penny because they're going to recoup all their expenses first. So we just didn't like that business model, and we thought it was very unfair to small filmmakers, or filmmakers that are just getting started. That it's important for them to see that they're making some money. And also there's a couple of other things that really set us apart. One is that we really have an educational mission. We really take the time to educate our filmmakers about how to use social media to promote their films, because that's really critical. We have, like I said, we have a private group where we share our best practices and support each other. That's something that no one else has. And the other thing that we think is really important is that we're very transparent with our reporting. We give very detailed reports about how your film is performing and where it's performing. And that's usually, a lot of distributors, they'll just say, okay, your film made X number of dollars, and then there were this many expenses, and this is how much you get. And usually that's zero. So until you've recouped all your expenses. So those are four very important things that set us apart from other filmmakers.
Yeah, definitely, I understand that. So where do you see the company going in the future? Because I know you talked a lot about how you adapted with the changes in technology and society. Do you see any changes coming over the horizon in terms of the entertainment industry, and like what are your plans to take advantage of that?
Well, one of the things that we are just recently starting to do is to start getting involved with other people's films. So our goal has always been for the company to be successful enough to expand on our filmmaking. So we've just recently invested with one of our filmmakers, and that's why we try to develop a relationship with our filmmakers.
Right.
And that's very important to us. So when we know that a filmmaker, say they've got a couple of films with us already, and we know that they can produce really quality work, then we're interested in becoming like executive producers or involved in co-production with that person's project. So that's something that we really see ourselves getting involved with in the future.
Yeah.
So that's a really important goal that we have. Also, we are in the process of migrating our library to the cloud. I think that's very much going to be important for the future. Some companies are doing it already, and right now people deliver their films to us on a hard disk, a small external hard disk. So we have 700 hard disks in our office. And, that can be a pain when you're trying to find a drive, to get some files off of it. Or say there's a new channel that we want to distribute films on.
You have to go look for it physically.
So what we're hoping to do is to move all of those either to Amazon Web Services, the cloud. So then we just have to, have the film up there once, and then we can just push a button to deliver it to different places. So that's going to make our life a lot easier. So that's something that we need to grow into. We're also hoping to expand on our foreign sales. We've been very fortunate. We've sold a lot of films to China, and so when we go to the markets, one of our primary missions there is to develop relationships with foreign territories so that we can just expand on our global opportunities. And I think it's a wonderful thing. It used to be if you made a small film, you were very lucky if it got out, distribution in the U.S., So, but now, because of the internet and the ability to deliver films more easily, we can. There's definitely global opportunities. So
yeah, that's really incredible.
It's a big world, and there's lots of people out there that like movies. So
yeah, you can. With the interconnectedness of the internet, stuff like that, your movie can come from the United States to China at just a click, which is great. Yeah. All right, I think that's all the questions I had written down for you. Is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything you think I should know?
Well, I just want to encourage people that are interested in filmmaking to. If you're just in it to make money, I would say find something else to do, because you have to really have the passion for it, that you're going to be willing to stick with it until you start to see something from it, because it's not something, it's very rare to have an overnight success with a film. You have to be willing to work hard and stick with it, and read and educate yourself as much as you can, and it's really, really important. We're completely self-taught. Neither my partner nor I went to film school. So everything we've learned about the business, we taught ourselves just by really being conscientious about reading about the business and, networking with other people in the business. So it's a great life.
Yeah.
I love it.
Definitely. I feel that love. Do you have any questions for me about my project, about what the interview is going to be used for, anything like that?
Sure, I'd love to hear more about that.
Okay. So yeah, again, it's sort of going to be in this TED Talk style format. So the whole project is about independent film distribution and how it's changed with the release of services like Amazon Prime, and the fact that it's become so much easier to make and distribute a movie. I was talking with Carl, and he really echoed one of my more important points, which is that yes, it's easier to make a movie, but because of that, there's so much more competition out there. And I think he said something that was like, anyone can make a movie, but not anyone can make a good movie.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and I wanted to sort of echo that.
And it made our job a lot harder because before we could watch 5 minutes, and if the production value was horrible, we knew it.
Yeah.
But now the cameras are so good that we really have to really be a lot more, scrutinizing, because the production value on all the films we get is pretty good. Right.
So it's starting to become more and more about story.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Okay. I think that's all I have. If you don't have anything else you want to know about project or anything at all, I think that's all I need from you.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, look forward to it. Keep me posted about how it goes, and and look forward to hearing back from you.
I think they're going to take a little video of me doing the presentation, so if I get one of that, I'll definitely send it to you.
Oh, great. Terrific.
Okay. Yeah.
Alrighty, nice to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much for talking to me. It was really helpful.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yeah. All right, bye.